What is up, guys? This is Cobb. Welcome to the Kroz Wallbreaker Fusion Calendar, where we're going to be breaking this down, including all of the resources that you're going to be needing to get through this fusion, man, so that you don't waste your time and so that you can secure this champion 100% and avoid the booby traps that Prime have set up along the way, because you know what they're like, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, man, above my head right now, I'm just going to pop in the recommended amount of gems and silver that you probably want to be going into this fusion with. About 1,000 gems that you could be spending on energy refills to get through things like the dungeon tournaments and the gear hunters events and all of that kind of stuff, as well as going in with a cushion of at least about 20 million silver. It's going to make things a lot easier for getting through the gear enhancement events, of which events there are 3. So as long as you go into the calendar with about 20 million silver, and then you're going to earn some more silver throughout the calendar, that should be enough to get you through the 3 gear enhancement events, which are otherwise typically going to cost you about, I don't know, 40 million silver or something total over the course of the next couple of weeks to get through all of those and grab those fragments. We'll also touch briefly as well towards the end of this quick video as to whether or not Kroz is going to be worth your time on your own account. For example, I'm going to be probably skipping this thing on my free-to-play account, but going for it on my main, because he is a bit of a badass, I'm not going to lie. It's not one that I want to miss, but at the same time, it might not quite be essential for your account, man. Before we get to all of that and get back to the calendar, if you'd like to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, maybe you're skipping this fusion and you want something to do over the next couple of weeks, man, create a new Raid account right now, man. A new free-to-play adventure using the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the description box, man. Click on that link and use that link to create a new Raid account for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now on that new account, securing yourself a double legendary start and 3 free epic champions. As you level up your new Raid account, man, all you gotta do is click on that link using laptop or PC and get started right now. And as Jocko Willink once said, back to the calendar. Okay, man, so the cool thing about this calendar is that it starts today. There's no waiting around. There's no, do nothing on the first day of the calendar. Now you can basically go ahead and blast the crap out of the Fire Nights tournament, basically starting today, right? Oh my god, man, this pen is way too thick, could I just say? It's got way too much girth going on to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead. We'll be blasting the crap out of the Fire Night tournament straight away. Also farming up half of the Gear Hunters event as we go. And then finishing... Oh, ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so the Dragon tournament here actually does not overlap with the Gear Hunters event. Or any Gear Hunters event, actually. That's kind of interesting to note. So what you actually want to do is farm this full Gear Hunters event during the Fire Night tournament right here. You're just going to be blasting the crap out of it, grabbing all of the fragments from that tournament and the Gear Hunters event simultaneously. And you are also free to go ahead and just blast the crap out of the Champion Training Tournament. I'd recommend you just get this done sooner rather than later, to be honest. Blast the crap out of the Champ Training Tournament nice and early in the calendar as well. It starts today, so get on it straight away if you're going to be getting on with this fusion. Before we go any further, we should touch on the shard pulling events as well, and also note the fact that if I just hide my camera real quick, you can see that there's all kinds of extra points that you can pick up from placing in tournament leaderboards. Oh my god, that's the worst arrow I've ever drawn in my life, bro. Okay, there we go. You can pick up an extra 20 fragments from finishing in tournament leaderboards, and these are from the Champion Training Tournament, all up and over here. So those are going to be very, very difficult to get and finish first place in this tournament. And then we've also got points coming in the Champ Chase Tournament, or rather bonus fragments that you can get in the Champ Chase Tournament a little bit later on. How realistic is it that you can actually rely on these bonus 10-point fragments? To be honest, pretty low. Finishing first place in a Champ Training Tournament like this, when it's one of the first events in the calendar, is going to be a little bit tough. I wouldn't rely on winning that thing to get those extra fragments. So realistically, you can skip maybe 10 fragments of the entire event. Yeah, that's worth bearing in mind. It's also worth bearing in mind how many shards you're going to need to get through this calendar. Do not attempt to complete this fusion if you don't have the required shards to do it. Okay, that's my first piece of advice to any new players that want to make this the first fusion that they go for. 6 or 7 sacred shards to get through the Summon Rush event. That's about standard. Sometimes it's 6, other times it's 7. Just depends. There's a bit of variability there. If you don't have 6 or 7 sacred shards to get through the Summon Rush, the fusion's already over for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And, stick around and watch the rest of this video so that you can learn what kind of resources you're going to need to get through a fusion calendar, because it's important to know as a newer player. You should also bear in mind that it's going to take about 25 to 30 Void Shards to comfortably get through the Champion Chase Tournament later on as well. That's because we are due to have a 2x event on Void Shards later on in that Champion Chase Tournament, right? So 2x event on the Champ Chase. very, very likely to be void shards. They could switch things up and do like a bait and switch. It's happened before. We are scheduled for 2x event on void shards, and this is something that's going to kick a lot of people square in the scrotal area. If one has a scrotal area, just void shards are a bit harder to get, and so, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news if this puts you off going for this Kroz fusion, but it is probably going to be a 2x on void shards to get through that champion chase tournament. Now, you can also bear in mind that during this champ chase tourney, you can do things like fusing champions on your account, right? So if you've got, this is my main account, so I've got plenty lying around, but even on my free-to-play, I've got a couple, and we've got all kinds of repeatable fusions here with Relic Keeper and Broadmoor. You can go ahead and fuse these champions. Relic Keeper's 250 points at a champ chase, Broadmoor is 350, and so you can get all kinds of points if you can just fuse these champions and sort of prepare a lot of fusion component champions ahead of time during champ training and stuff like that. That's something that you can do, and that can make some points along the way and shave off some of those points required to get you through. Basically, any way that you can get points, any way that you can summon champions on your account is going to get you points during a champ chase, not during a summon rush, right? So anything that you can go ahead... Dude, I'm still holding on to Ishiyama. What is even wrong with me? But whatever. You get the idea, right? Any way that you can summon champions is going to get you points during a champ chase. So you do have some time to prepare for that if you want to go for this fusion, but you don't quite have the 30 voids. You can maybe get through with 15 or 20 voids if you've got a lot of fusions and a lot of like fragment summons and stuff to do along the way. So next up along the calendar, getting back to the calendar rather, the champion training tournament. Arena takedowns are very, very easy to do. To spend your daily arena keys, you'll probably get that. Get that done with no problem at all. It's not a very difficult event. The next Gear Hunters event starts on the second day of the Dragon Tournament. As you can see all the way down here. And then once again, dude, it's another Gear Hunters event that only overlaps with one dungeon tournament, which is kind of weird. So again, you're going to farm this entire Gear Hunters event. You've got to farm this entire Gear Hunters event pretty much in the Dragon Tournament itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of strange, man. Again, the second half of this Gear Hunters event here doesn't overlap with anything. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of nutty. We've also got an Ice Golem tournament starting a little bit later on as well. Again, we're farming the Ice Golem tournament in the very first day of the tournament. It doesn't make any sense. Just, whoops. Switch on over to the red pen. Just make sure that you are not doing that, right? Don't waste your time farming these Ice Golem and the Dragon Dungeon Tournament on the first day that they start. It doesn't make any sense. Wait until the Gear Hunters event begins. Else that's going to be a huge, huge sort of energy trap for you, right? You want to make sure that you are overlapping your Gear Hunters events with your Dungeon Tournaments so that you're just double dipping between your energy expenditure as much as possible. And that's going to ensure that you're not having to spend extra gems for energy refills like beyond the figure of 1,000 gems, which is like my estimated amount up here, you know. It's like my safe amount. You can get through with a little bit less if you're very, very efficient, of course. And it largely depends on what dungeon stage you're farming, but there you do go. We've also got a spider tournament towards the end here that you want to farm very, very quickly as soon as it begins, because yeah, the back end of this spider tournament, if you still needed to complete the fusion, does not overlap at all with the Gear Hunters event, and there's just no Gear Hunters event here towards the end for you to overlap with. So do bear that in mind as well. Besides that, there's a champion training tournament as well towards the middle of the calendar. I'd honestly say this is a very, very simple calendar. This is a very, very simple calendar indeed. Something worth noting is that if you are able to win your champion training tournament, right? This thing right here that we've already pointed out at the start of the calendar, this champion training tournament, if you can win this thing and get 10 fragments from this, you can actually completely skip on the champion chase tournament towards the end. You don't have to pull any shards at all. That's kind of mental, is it not? So hell, who knows? Maybe you want to go in like crazy and try and win the champion training tournament, right? And still do the other events like Fire Night and stuff. But if you can win the champion training tournament that's going on inside of the game right now, or it's about to start on my screen right now, if you can win this thing early on, it might change all of your plans about actually going for this fusion, right? So if you don't have the void shards ready to go, try and win the tournament, I guess. Go for it. Again, still make sure that you don't miss any of the other events along the way. It's going to be very, very tight for you. If you try and win this thing and just get the fusion done that way. But if you do win it, you can skip completely on the champion chase later on in the calendar. Now, a quick word about Kroz Wallbreaker himself. Should you actually be going for this guy? I'll be really honest. I mean, look at all these 0 rating reviews, man. What a noob, you know. Nah, he's actually obviously a very, very good champion. Brings a triple hit A1, each hit with a chance of decreasing the detonation cooldown of all bombs. Also has a chance, 50% chance that is, of placing a stun debuff on the target for 1 turn. It's a fine little A1 skill. The real power of Kroz comes in his passive, and his ability to just hasten the detonation of his own bombs, right? So he's got to tackle enemies on the A2. It is a 4-turn cooldown. Fills his turn meter by 25% for each enemy with a bomb debuff. So that's tight. Has a 100% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs on each enemy that detonate after 2 turns, right? 4-turn cooldown. He brings some bomb activation as well on his A3 skill. This champion is probably going to be built in fast relentless gear, potentially reflex if you can't get relentless, but tends to be great in relentless gear. Champions like this. And then on his A3, it is a 3-turn cooldown. Attack all enemies, 100% chance for decreasing the detonation cooldown of all bomb debuffs by 1 turn. 100% chance of placing block active skills. That's really, really nice, right? So he's speeding up the rate at which the bombs go off, dealing great damage to waves, and then also place block active skills on enemies. Block active skills, in the case of Kroz, is obviously not going to be great against Chimera, but it's going to be fantastic for controlling waves of enemies. Where he really comes in, because I read his kit at this point, I thought, you know what, he's fine. He's fine against waves, but you know, is he really that good? And then you read the passive, fill all allies' turn meters by 5% each time a bomb debuff detonates. Again, if you're building this guy in Relentless set, you can get an extra turn every now and again. There could be a lot of bombs going off with this guy, especially if you combo with like another bomb champion. Wonder how the hell that would work out, you know? There might be some areas of the game where that's actually kind of... I mean, it's going to be hilarious to do no matter what, but what if it's actually going to be like super effective in certain areas of the game? And also the rest of his passive, 20% chance, okay, of activating an instant turn effect, meaning he just gets 100% turn meter fill on this champion whenever an ally or an enemy is killed by a bomb debuff. That's the kind of passive that can spiral like crazy, again, especially when combined with the likes of a Relentless set. Now, a bit of a concern about Kroz is that he might not excel many areas of the game outside of wave content, and so while I'm very, very excited to get him and build him on the likes of my main account, is he like a formative champion that's going to help out like my Hydra teams, that's going to dislodge anything in my Demon Lord team on my free-to-play account? Is he going to work anywhere in the dungeons? He might be pretty good into Dragon, I guess. Bombs are pretty good into Dragon, and he'll certainly help you out against the waves in Dragon Dungeon. And of course, you can combine him in Dragon, unlike Faction Wars, with other bomb champions, and maybe, you know, they can kind of feed off of each other's synergies, and that could be kind of tight. But is he a must fuse? I don't know. For me, I feel like he's a little bit overhyped for newer players. I feel like if this is the first fusion that you're thinking about going for on your account, I'd say maybe think again, and if you've only just got enough supplies to get this fusion done, you might be better off just waiting for December. That's just my advice. Very, very cool champion. Very excited to get him on the main account. On the free-to-play, it's probably a skip. For me, at least, anyway. That's my take on the Fusion calendar, man. Let me know what you guys think of this champion down below. Are you going to be going for this one? If you're looking to start off a new raid account, make sure to get that done right now by using the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the gosh darn description box to start off a new raid account with all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now. I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee. Slept like 4 hours last night. I got some account takeovers to get doing stuff today. So I got to go freshen up, man. Thanks for stopping by. Look forward to reading your guys' comments. As always, I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.